Greetings, Gemini and Gemini rising. This is your Western forecast for January 2025. In my yearly forecast, I talked about the 4 outer planets all changing signs, and they'll all be in harmony with each other, which is a good thing, by July, August. But the first 6 months, there might be a feeling of a lot of transition and uneasiness for most people. But there was still one other major planetary change that I didn't want to add to the mix at the time because it would just be too much. And that is the karmic North Node changes signs and moves into Pisces at the beginning of January. And it will be in Pisces for a year and a half. And this happens about every 18 to 19 years. And the karmic North Node is challenging us to embrace new approaches, new goals. And it stimulates a lot of growth and life purpose, and highlighting major karmic lessons to achieve these new aspirations. Now, it's going to be in your career sector because Pisces is 10 signs past Gemini. So this is a very important career period with your professional reputation, leadership, could be fame with some of you, or just a lot of very intensified recognition. But I'll get back to that because it's also joined by Venus, the planet of love and romance, but also creativity. But I always like to start with, where is the new moon? The new moon, there's one every month. This new moon is in Capricorn on December the 30th. So till the next new moon, so all of January, the central theme where your priorities, your attention is more directed to is by the new moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is 8 signs past Gemini. The 8th house deals with joint ventures, loans, financial gifts, taxes. There's a lot going on here with business contracts, negotiations. So it's a major financial area of the chart. Could also be putting a real spotlight on business partnerships, negotiating business contracts. Sometimes you come into grants, some financial gifts, some inheritance, some backing. That could be the spotlight of the 8th house. And that starts to be very favorable with that karmic North Node now entering into the 10th house of business and career matters. But before I go into more detail, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. All right, 2 weeks after a new moon is the full moon on January the 13th. The new moon is where we are thinking about new things, new objectives, planting seeds to be developed in the long term. 2 weeks later, the full moon often will reveal what's working or not working from the new moon decisions. The full moon's January the 13th. You could be feeling it from the 12th, especially the 13th, 14th, maybe the 15th. This full moon is going to be very powerful financially because it's in Cancer, which is the 2nd sign past Gemini. The 2nd sector is about your personal income, your possessions, your cash flow. But this happens once a year, and it can bring a lot of emotional reactiveness, a lot of anxiousness. But I wanted to bring this up. because Mars, which I want to talk about next, Mars, ambitious, assertive Mars, is retrograding back into Cancer. And by the full moon on the 13th, it's aligned with a frustrated, passive-aggressive, sometimes Mars in retrograde. So there could be triggering. You could be really focused as you're going into the new year with all your business contracts and partnerships and looking for backing and loans, how to monetize your business with others. Then the full moon for a couple of days, and there might be a lot of disputes and anger and stress over money matters, and maybe with partners and joint ventures or contract negotiations. But it's only lasting for a couple of days. But let's go back to the Mars, because I talked in the yearly forecast and even in the December forecast, that Mars is retrograding December the 6th through February the 23rd, once every 2 years. Mars is usually in a sign for about 6 weeks, so it's so much more intensified. Now, as we go into January the 6th, the Mars that started to retrograde in Leo is now back up into Cancer. In Cancer, in your second house of your personal income. But it's retrograde from January the 6th till February the 23rd in your second house of income. So there might be more tensions, fighting, anger. That Mars, when it's retrograde, can really slow down, with your objectives and your goals, creating some frustrations. There might be a bit of an anger outburst, upset around the 13th. But the Mars remains in that second house for income for almost 2 months, to the end till February the 23rd. Then it goes direct, and it starts to release all this pent-up, frustrated energies about having to increase your income and make more money. So that's February the 23rd through April the 17th. So now you're really more directed, more focused, more ambitious towards gaining and increasing your income. With the all of January, with the new moon Capricorn energy in your 8th house of joint ventures, financial contracts, which now takes me to the karmic north node. For the first time in almost 19 years, it's going into Pisces for a year and a half, into your 10th house of career matters. Wherever the karmic north node is transiting, it's really amplifying, intensifying, challenging to embrace new goals and new approaches. At the same time, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity, is going into Pisces, but just for the month of March, because Venus goes through all the signs once a year. So as the karmic north node goes into Pisces, and Pisces is all this more compassionate, spiritual, empathetic energies with the whole life purpose and career. Another interpretation is the Pisces is ruled by Neptune. And so that Neptune energy is very visionary. It can be highly imaginative and creative and spiritual. But you could be really beginning to be really focused on, after nearly 18 to 19 years, for the next year and a half on, going after Neptune of Pisces, your dream, your vision. But in January, when it starts, Venus is in Pisces. Pisces is the exalted sign or the best sign for Venus. So Venus can give the best of its promises and then even triply amplified by the karmic north node, all with career matters. Now, this can be fantastic if you are an artist, if you are a performer, any type of entertainment, creative business, because that could be really jump-starting big time in January. And the 8th house, Capricorn, could be all the setting up meetings and contracts, negotiations. And here's Mars for the first 3.5 months. It's trying to get going. It's slow on the uptake until it goes direct at the end of February, but it's all focused on increasing your income. So the Capricorn's in the 8th house of finance and banking and joint ventures. The Mars is in the 2nd house of income, being very aggressive, negotiating financial transactions. And the karmic north node goes into, for the first time in nearly 19 years, your 10th house of career matters. So those are the big sweeping themes that is really jump-starting here in January. Venus in Pisces can be intensely romantic, but it often is so romantic it's more idealistic. And having the karmic north node that really amplifies, and Pisces can also be very spiritual. This could also be really awakening in January, this unconditional love, even towards a spiritual master, because the 8th house, just digressing for a moment again, yes, the 8th house is banking and finance and loans and business contracts and partnerships, but on a deeper level, the 8th house deals with in-depth psychology, astrology, the occult. And then having that karmic north node in spiritual Pisces with Venus, that could be awakening this deep, unconditional spiritual love. And somehow it's not just with the 10th house of career, but the 10th house can also point to more external manifestation. So, like getting all that unconditional love out into the world more visibly. So I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.